He's a tinker man, the servant of the worshippers he.
Okay, so you tell me I've got one more card to read and respond to. Fame and fortune. No. Simple as that. No. Two things. Don't want. Pay off the mortgage. Yes. Fame and fortune. No. I've had fame and notoriety thanks to being a high school teacher in small country towns, and not just one small country town, but many small country towns, because I was always the fill-in guy. I was always the new guy. I was the novelty act. I was the one that the boys would sort of muscle up to and, oh yeah, Mr. Quince, I'm taller than you. I don't care. And then you get those girls going, so, got to get the bubble gum? Yes, there are Mrs. Quince. And I'll just respond with, why? Are you interested? Yeah. So fame, I don't want notoriety. And even around here, I've had people stop me in the street and go, Tinker! And I think, do you really want me to walk up and hand you a medallion because you were able to recognise this face as a character and a real person? No. Okay. I don't want people stopping me in the street. And I had to sign an autograph a while back, and that was weird. And that was my wife's friend. And it wasn't even to do with Tinker. Remember those little books I was making? I made those little books, 1,000 words, little short fiction, 5-minute fiction thing. It cost me 20 cents to photocopy it. And then I folded it, and then I signed it for Erin Chancellor Davis. Remember Chancellor Davis? And that was just weird. It didn't go up to 25 cents in value. If that was the case, I'd probably do a lot more of them, because it went up like 25%, 20% value. No. Parodies. I would actually love a parody. And there has been a parody, thanks to some local bloke who then blocked me on social media, as if I wouldn't see it, as if someone I work with wouldn't come and go, hey, check this out, and show me their phone, and I was actually quite flattered that someone would take the time to download a heap of my videos and compile them and then put the Thomas the Tank Engine music to it. Look around. The only thing that annoyed me, no, seriously, the only thing that annoyed me about that was that video had 10,000 views, and at the time my entire channel had like maybe 6,000. That was before yeah, we sort of knew each other at the time. But you probably have seen it. Yeah, so parodies. But this channel has actually been set up to parody. As a former teacher, if you had a student writing poetry, that's English. If they perform poetry, that's performing arts. If they made a costume, that's your textiles technology class or sewing. If they made props, that's probably an art class or woodwork. If they made sets, they could be art or, once again, woodwork or something to do with technology. If they edited that together, that would be IT. Not bad, you can pass 6 subjects by making a 3-minute video. That's why I don't teach anymore. They wouldn't let me do that. You can even discuss the ethics of putting up videos of people under the age of 18 without parental permission, and whether or not you're going to regret it, or they're going to ask you to take it down, and if you need to pay them for copyright, and all those wonderful issues that are relevant in today's world that education won't cater for, and the state curriculum just doesn't have it. So yeah, parodies I'd love, and I'd love people to rip this idea off, because I know it's so easy and so simple that all they've got to do is find a different style of poetry and a different costume and a different character, and they've pretty much got their own channel. And that'd be fantastic. That would, if there's going to be any fame involved, that would be it. Postcards. Yeah, I love postcards. Send me a postcard. We did do the Tinker's Bulging sack for a while then, and we read out postcards that we'd received. And I've got this suitcase here full of postcards that I have actually received from postcrossing.com. I love receiving postcards, and you can make your own postcards out of cereal packets. Did you see that one? There was the gold one sent by the French lady, Natalie, the French lady in Sydney. And then there was one that was put in my letterbox. and I'm fairly certain it was someone that I was working with at the time. Yeah, and it was anonymous. And I think you spent more time working with them than I did. But I'm just going to let that be. I don't want to go chasing someone down and going, hey, thanks for the postcard. No, but they wanted it to be anonymous, and going to respect that. And I'm just going to respect. But want to send me a postcard? I'll read it out. Just a bit of cereal box, and then I can see what you had for breakfast. That's up there with cornflakes. Something else, you're famous when people send you donuts. I like donuts. Who doesn't like donuts? I will take the donuts. Might be a bit hard to send internationally. Send me a tea bag, and I've had that. I've had a Dutch person sent me a tea bag. It tasted a little bit dry and dusty, certainly not refreshing, but also just enjoyable in the context that it was a tea bag from another country. And I've always got black tea. I'm a black tea drinker. I've always got green tea, ginger teas, fruit tea, ginsengs, all that sort of wonderful herbal stuff. Nettle, I've got a big jar of nettle tea that I've got too, that I harvested. So if you think I'm famous, send me a postcard in an envelope. Got to mime an envelope. Tea bag. A couple of tea bags of just whatever your local brew happens to be. That'd be fantastic. I don't care, I'll just drink the tea. It's a free tea bag. It's a cup of tea. Now, oh yeah, this is another one. This is another one that's contentious as far as I'm sort of become a caricature of myself. I've become a parody of myself, constantly wearing the same t-shirt because I don't have a huge number of t-shirts. I've actually culled my t-shirts down. But when I'm working, and yesterday when I was out in the field, out bushwalking and geocaching, I was wearing that. And I wear a high vis a lot when I work because I tend to be in industrial places these days. So that was fine, that was fantastic, And if you made your own t-shirt with Tinker written on it, send me a photo of you wearing it. That'd be famous. That'd be like fan art and t-shirt in one. And then if you sent me actually made a postcard out of that and a tea bag, oh man, that would just make my millennia. Having said that, t-shirts, I don't know why I'm going to do a t-shirt review. That's one my wife gave me. She's a Burton fan. Nightmare Before Christmas. And then she gave me this other one, which is awesome because that's David Bowie in Labyrinth as the Goblin King. And true fact here, true story, I have had the opportunity to meet with David Bowie, and top bloke. I don't think anything could rattle David Bowie. He's just a really steadfast kind of guy. And I actually said to him, thank you for the Goblin King, because Labyrinth is one of my favourite films, has been since I was a child. And he just looked at me and said, it's not my idea. Man, you wrote the music, you did the dancing. No, you weren't the Goblin King. So, fame and fortune, I don't want the fame, I don't want the recognition, I don't want to be stopped any more than having a 90-second chat in a checkout line at the supermarket. I don't want that recognition. I don't want international recognition either. I don't know why people would do that, but I have it anyway. And as for fortune, I'm not about to start selling merch. We've given that a go. We've tried that. It didn't work. It didn't take off, and I really don't care because as long as I've got a day job, that's all I need to worry about.
He's a tinker man, he's a tinker man, a servant of the
Yeah,
bush.
yeah, all right. I just want to add one more thing. Well, actually two. As far as fortune and fame goes, you have to excuse the duck, but Tinker's Tales on patreon.com for as little as $1 a month, actually free. Scratch the $1 a month, sign up and follow me for free. I can't do better than that. and you'll still get about 2/3 of the things I post. It's roughly speaking a third of the things I post are public, a third are roughly a third there are for followers, which is also free. But you've just got to sign up and have a membership, I think. And then for $1 a month, you get a little bit extra, and you get like a month's worth of Tinker videos early. You get a preview of that. Someone has signed up for a $2 one, and they always get something a little extra as well. But as far as fortune goes, that fame, however, I forgot to mention. And you know you're famous when? That's right, fan art. I would love to see some fan art. Just sketch up Tinker or me, or anything to do with Tinker's Tales, maybe a new logo for us, and we'll feature them at the end of episodes. We did this with Alicia Watley, who didn't send fan art in, but she's a brilliant artist. And I was putting her artwork at the end of the show with the credits rolling over them. And that worked really well. Fan art, fan art, fan art. You know you're famous when you get fan art. So as far as fortune goes, sign up for Patreon. And if you like what you see and you want more, pay $1. If you like what you see, draw it. Yes, we'd love to see fan art. Yep, no, that's it. That's all I wanted to say was fan art and Patreon.